There is an increasing number of people considering, well, self destructive actions and, well, ultimately, unfortunately, the idea of committing suicide. The point is, this number unfortunately will keep increasing because the idea of abandonment in this society is becoming more and more unbearable, especially to the newer generations. Because people are getting more and more tired of this system that only consumes you and never gives anything back. Because each generation that goes through certain traumas, those traumas will be transmitted to the newer generations, whether you like to accept it or not. That is why the newer generations are a bit more adaptable and they're a bit more knowledgeable of what their parents have been going through, even if they haven't yet experienced the thing. So, what can one tell people who may consider the idea of suicide? Well, the unfortunate point is the mind functions in a very simple way. When we look at things, if things go your way, everything is good. If things don't go your own way, well, depending on how much drama people have in their life or have been having, well, they either don't like themselves, don't like things around, or they simply wish to die. This is one simple thing, one simple way that the mind functions. The more you think about something, the more you get used to it. So, if you play this little drama game that you don't do something or you get it done in a wrong way, you wish to die, well, you're gonna become better at it. Especially younglings, they do this little game because they just vampirize a little bit of attention, right? They all pretend a bit that they suffer in front of their friends by saying that they're depressed, they have drama, and whatever else. But in time, unfortunately, they're programming themselves to become like that. Whatever you do in your youth, well, if you become adapted to it, it's gonna be harder and harder to pull out of. When it comes to committing suicide, you have to understand one thing: the world has been going on well without you, and probably it's gonna go well without you as well. One's own existence in the current physical body that they have is a very short one. But one doesn't have to understand the point that, if they would commit such a feat, the world will not care about them or the world will care more about them. See, even Shakespeare said the whole world is a stage, everything is more or less fake. People don't care much about you. That should be your greatest liberation, not your greatest bondage to suffering, because when you realize, not just know, when you realize that people don't care about you, you should understand that it is your greatest freedom in the end. Because if people can't care about you, why would you need to align yourself to their necessities? Why would you need to align yourself to their expectations, especially? Because people will be expecting things from you, but people won't care about you. So it kind of makes you look like a dummy that you're giving them too much of your attention. So many of these parasites in your life will be winning nothing else but a free spot in your mind. And you're constantly gonna think about them, this and that, and well, probably don't even exist in their mind. Because, see, the problem is nowadays everything is so much easier to perform, everything is so much easier to do. A lot of people end up with so much spare time because back in the times things would take way longer to finish, to finalize, right? From cleaning to cooking and such. Nowadays you have machines that can do most of it, if not all of it for you. But people still are tired because, well, the same nonsense, the same gibberish, the same noise in the mind is going on, even if we all have this technology, right? People say people in the past were smarter than us or were fuller than us. Well, that doesn't matter. If we look here in the present, people are still suffering. We have technology that makes our life much easier, but our ignorance will always make us suffer because when one doesn't care about themselves, suffering will be your only way out. Because school has been teaching you that everything within you is singular. You are just this one physical body. You're not taught that you're a conglomerate of billions upon billions of cells. And all of those cells actually have their own existence and have their own pains and things that you should care about. See, each and every one of your cells is at least 70% water. Your body is at least 70% water. Your brain is at least 70% water. It's actually a bit more, but, well, at least 70% water. The whole planet is at least 70% water. This ratio is a golden ratio on this planet, and it doesn't exist for nothing. And when you suffer, it's not just you and your physical body that suffers, it's also the entirety of your cells. Your body will give you pain because you're not doing the right things for it, right? And you're thinking it is some kind of punishment because that's how narcissists function. They will use everything that you believe in a way that you are programmed to suffer even more because they want you to suffer more than them. That is why religion ended up as everywhere in the world when you look. It's probably less common or not too common, but there are numerous cases of people who think they must suffer in the name of their religion because somewhere have been programmed to believe that the creation doesn't want anything from you than to suffer. See, you don't need to suffer in the end because you have been born, you have one single life. Why not live it in a joyous way? Oh, there are people who hate you. There will always be people who hate you because, first and foremost, they hate themselves, right? If you want to be cheeky, if you want to be grinchy in a way, if people hate you, why wouldn't that be a premise for you to live more, right? Because, well, they'll be hating you, so at least you'll be getting some free attention and you'll be pissing some people's days, right? You'll be pissing some people off. You'll be rubbing them the wrong way because it's them doing their own harm. It's not you doing the harm because they don't like themselves, and everything else will be a reminder of them not liking themselves. So obviously they will try to externalize it and make it look as if it's someone else's fault, right? It's always your fault, it's never theirs, right? Mad people don't have anything wrong with them, it's always someone else's fault, it's always someone else who's wrong. So when we think about things like this, well, why not just live life? Because in the end, if you commit suicide, you're probably gonna make some people happy. Why make them happy when you can simply live your own life and do things for yourself? Get better at something. And once you start doing things, you will have something to work for. If you don't work for something, you're gonna work for someone else. And you're gonna help someone else achieve their own dreams. You have to also work for your own dreams outside of, the work time because everyone needs some money. And well, how you use that money is also a means through which you will feel richer or not. You're buying all sorts of things that you don't need. You have so many self-destructive behaviors because you're just punishing yourself. You're just carrying on the pains of the previous degenerations. If they weren't capable of transcending something, why would you even keep suffering? When you look at the universe, everything is where they should be. The stars are on the sky, the sun is where they should be, and the moon is where it should be. And when you look at all of these astral objects, if something bad would happen with them, obviously something bad would happen with the whole planet. Yes, there are wars on the planet, there are things in the such. Here and is always strife and struggle. But in the end, if people learn how to understand their emotions and make better use of those, and stop reacting to all the little nonsense, their life will become much better. Because the whole system functions on problem reaction, right? And then a fake solution. So the point in the world is if one wants to even think about suicide, why even bother with it? Because suicide will only make your afterlife even worse, 1,000 times worse. They didn't know how to explain it back in the times, so they said it is an unforgivable sin. It's not a sin or anything. The problem is you're gonna cause so much karma to you. It's gonna take thousands of years for you to simply be able to get reborn. The problem is, if you suffer in this life, this physical body has a certain limit to how much it can suffer. Once you leave this physical body, suffering can become a millionfold. It can become 10,000-fold. So you don't want to experience that for thousands upon thousands of years. And when your body becomes capable of finding a means, right, another vessel, right, when your soul becomes, or whatever you want to call it, becomes capable of getting born again, you're not gonna know, right? Do you know nowadays if we as a race will be living a few thousand years in the future? So you're gonna wait probably even more millions of years till you can actually find a new race that's capable of housing your physical body. So don't commit to yourself unnecessary pains. There will be a lot of people who can do that and will be willing to do that to you for free. So don't bother with all of these nonsensical aspects, because in the end, people won't care too much about themselves. Those people, in most cases, they're not gonna be able to be saved, because when someone can't care about themselves, they're not willing to be saved either. Because the reason behind all of this is that they don't feel worthy enough of being saved. This is what one has to work towards, that you are worthy of everything in this whole world. It's not just the rich, it's not just the sickly, it's not just the people who are, more devious or whatever. You're also worthy of those things. Your worthiness is not proved yet because you're not working towards those things. You're just working towards slowly and surely poisoning yourself with all sorts of destructive thoughts. So hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You're appreciated. Take care, enjoy life, and this being said, Ferenc Board signing out.